Alright, I am here. Uh, what the dog doing? Not vibing, apparently. According to authorities, the dog is not allowed to vibe. Um, how's everybody doing? Good to see all you. Kara, Guava Chips, Danny, Superman. Anyone else might be lurking about. Yes, I'm starting pretty significantly early. Um, so I want to get some extra solo time in. Continuing co-op with Danny later today. I don't listen to authorities. Based. That's my chatter right there. Um, and no, I'm not actually cool. I was just outside. So, before anyone thinks that I'm secretly cool, nuh-uh. Hope everyone's having a good day. Or, a non-shit day. Sometimes we like to aim for realistic. I'm very excited to continue this run. Because the builds do be building. Same with the co-op run. Getting all of your Act 3 gear at the start and then experiencing that power spike is satisfying. Let's keep doing that. House of Hope. The Helldusk Helm. The Amulet of Greater Health. Maybe the Helldusk Gloves too. It's said that way. Golden Kappa vibes today. Ooh. Also having this fun thing happen where something wrong with one of my eyes. So I'm trying not to look around too quickly because it hurts. Don't waste a step. Early stream hands. Oh, that's like feels like the muscles around it are tired. Very unpleasant.
What was she trying to summon? That might be worth a look.
Oh yeah, I did use up all my thieves tools. I saved Polo, so I can buy more pretty easily. We get some relief. Thanks, Quag Chips. Something wrong with both of my eyes? Is it me? On your screen. How you doing, Price?
Not over, then through. Seems like a good moment to talk.
Press the peeper so Ethel can have one soon. I got a peeper for Ethel right here.
It will serve you well. A study of the slang. Whatever happens next, be sure that I will document it all as accurately as possible.
So the joke was genitals, chat. Laugh. First try.
What sort of curio shop has authentic infernal objects?
welcome thee. Well, well. It's been a while since I've had
Been a
such
while.
discerning custom. Here, you may browse my more curated selection.
We're gonna grab this staff for the ability to restore a Warlock spell slot. Cloak of the Weave is nice. It's +1 spell attack rolls and spell save DC. The absorb elements on this does not actually work. It's not there at all. So this item does only have that first effect. Blight Scroll. I still gotta do a run where I actually make use of Hellbeard Halberd. Something I've been wanting to do for a long time.
Now you've...
I do want to buy the Scaleritas hat. Odie, that's... you know what, fine. I wish Helsik stood closer to her desk.
My most perceptive prospective customer. Welcome back.
What if? What hides the beautiful hair? Put the hair in a pony. Mm-hmm. Spell slot back. Okay, yes, a 9 with advantage after bonuses. That's great. Some time for going to hell? Yeah, can't do me. Not gonna be doing any fights in there. Maybe Harlep. But yeah. Sorry, to IKEA. Yeah, I forget sometimes too. To IKEA. That one incense, or is it the other side? Shut up, Squid.
As the figure flickers and the figure.
But yeah. Now whisper your questions, little wretch. But really quiet and very clever. Concentrate. Remember, quiet. But I like you. Can you see a pic? But
The wrath.
Can I go with 10 con? If I plan around greater health, I could stay on 8 con and have 10 wisdom. Doesn't really benefit me significantly though. I do only have base 15 strength. Would that be enough to... I don't think so.
creeping.
Hope is so precious. She's great. That's for perception. It's an interesting check. It's just straight up wisdom. There's not too many raw attribute checks I can think of in the game. Like, there's a couple with hope, and then there's that wisdom check there. Conversation with the brain in the morphic pool. Alright, Helldust Helmet. So now I have the option to have crit immunity with an unarmored setup, if I so chose. Currently we're going armor, but the flexibility, definitely desirable. I only have one water bottle and one darkness arrow, so it looks like I'm only stealing one of the items from the archive. I mean, I could just take both of them and dollyport out, but then every time I come back, it would be a whole thing.
Over here. Oh no. They hear me. Speak quickly, speak softly. You know.
You
Fail that one pretty often.
A crack like breaking bone. Hope winces.
Nice.
Let's have a look.
Alright, so Hope gave us the information about Verilius Receptor. So I should be able to reasonably get archive access. I could burn a couple inspo if the need should arise. Forgot to grab that. Long rest potions in there. Want a romance, Hope. Hope doesn't need a romance. Hope needs some peace in her own home. As much of a degen as I can be, Hope just needs a crisp wave and control over her own life. A lick of paint.
Never sign your soul.
Better be cautious.
And a better decorator. And a better decorator.
On my way. Moving ahead.
All of the residents were guests, and all of
Let's see.
Next visit, I'll get boudoir access and stuff. So I can do this. Now we tanky. I should also throw this weapon. It's my packed weapon, so I gotta... What damage type do I want on this thing? I guess lightning makes sense. If I fight the big stupid dragon, let's do acid. Oh. Subtract persistence over here. Real shame I forgot Ring of Twilight. Real shame. 28 AC is not that much. We could kill Viconia and get to 29 with a good shield. Maybe getting Marco Heshker and stuff is next. Yeah, alright, let's go over there. Shame.
You! What are you doing here? No, but never mind.
Will be
that.
nice to roll it.
What can I do? Huh. I suppose that at least I can help with.
Bro's got enough chain lightning. Could go take out the House of Grief with all that. I don't need Sea Invis, because I did get Volo's Eye this run. Stone Skin... I'll keep. It's theoretically useful. What the phone doing? Surely there's more stuff I can sell. Yeah, we got that. Buy 3 of the chain lightning scrolls.
Hope you found... I don't need any attention right now. I wonder what's past this.
I don't think I do this trick again, but on the level 1 monk run, I gave Leroican 400 gold in this conversation to max out his attitude so I could telekinesis him for free.
Surely you wouldn't have wasted my time. And the night song? Speak true now.
Get out of my face.
I detest a liar.
These boots have seen everything. Step carefully. There's a trap.
I'm using Mask of the Cheater, but we're in Act 3, I could just be using disguise kits. So the impact is the same. I forgot to actually equip Shapeshifter's Moon. Enough. And exactly enough. Simply get the desired outcome.
More pockets. Open up. Be wary. This place is trapped.
Simply roll exactly perfectly. Yeah, yeah. I don't know why I clicked throw. Call it an intrusive thought. No waste, perfectly efficient. All calculated. So used to throwing everything. You're not wrong. Hey, trade. Thank you for the 56 months. That's a lot of time. Thank you very much. Watched Severance Season 2 finale. I haven't seen any of it at all. Don't tell me anything. Show is in my very expansive backlog of shit I should get into. Hey, Naz, thank you for the raid. How's the new run going? Welcome, Raiders. I'm Quag. I do challenge runs, BG3 stuff. I'm doing Celestial Warlock mod run. I took a monk dip because monk warlock is something I've been wanting to do for a bit.
Quag pause.
Thanks again for the resub trade. And there's the raid alert. Only 3 Nautiloids today, so we're doing well. Oh, only 3? But I was looking forward to 4th Nautiloid. Good to see you, Ness. Do I care about the lamp? Not really. I'm gonna regret this when I run out of money again. You see Voss Science? I glossed over it, but yeah, Bridge Bomb, region travel, then Voss will stay and be vulnerable. Is the gist? Dip needs something to luck. Thank you. Go on, calm down. Hoping for some more offensive scrolls from Sorcerer Sundries today. We did get a Sunbeam. worse. Tips for someone never touched Bard before. What do you tell them? Pay attention to your gear proficiencies. Valor Bards get shield proficiency. Swords Bards get medium armor proficiency. Bards are pretty well-rounded, but you do still have to understand how to get more out of the area you choose to focus within. So like if you're playing your Bard as a sort of martial type, well, make sure you're grabbing the necessary armor and weapon proficiencies wherever you can, however you can. If you're playing your Bard as a sort of caster, well, make sure to do that appropriately. But it's hard to go wrong as a Bard, so it's going to be kind of the same advice as everything else, and I'm going to say read a lot.
Be cautious.
Scary combat having to handle Beretta, Voss, and Archer at the same time. It's an easy Cadenas kill. I think So Black we found it. Action Refresh Dragon Breath is so based. Yeah, So Black mentioned it. Might have to roll up a Dragonborn. There's a solid chance that my no looting character is going to be like default Dark Urge. I'll change the stats in the class, but I want the Slayer form, and I think I might want Dragon Breath. So we'll see if I end up wanting to be a Duergar. Oh no. 6 months? Holy shit.
What the hell did you just say about me, you casual? I'll have you know I just hit my 6-month resub to Quag, and I've been lurking in chat for over 1,000 hours, enduring countless stream snipers and chat trolls. I'm trained in pixel-perfect precision platforming, and I'm the top donator in at least 3 different streams. You are nothing to me but just another backseating pleb. I will out-meme you with Twitch emotes so hard your viewer count will drop faster than a laggy speedrun.
Be wary.
I think you covered everything. Thank you, Danny, for the 6 months, and as always, the quality shitpost.
Curious vault. Must be protecting something awfully valuable.
Pyro Quickness hat. I do like Hellish Rebuke stuff. On my own turn. Maybe I mess around with Pyro Quickness. Maybe. I'm not gonna read that yet. My burn up tactics rank killing boss would require a good setup. I think something like Cloud Kill could be pretty good there, in all honesty. You get a Cloud Kill scroll. Maybe you even do like Cloud Kill on top of an ice surface. Although maybe blinding Voss so he can't... Voss and Beretta, and the Archer. And the hold person one. Yeah, blinding everyone so they can't just like astral step out of the AoE. And having them on like a spike growth or some such could be pretty good. Druid probably has a good matchup there. You have Dryad do spike growth while you do something else. I wasn't thinking about it, but Staff of Cherished Necromancy could go hard on this combination. When does Staff of Cherished Necromancy not go hard though, right? The 4 sunbeams, I like that.
Softer than a whisper.
I think Quag knew who I was back in the Borderlands days of yore, but I was there. Oh, I knew you, Trade. Obviously not as well, but I knew you. I wouldn't say, like, well until maybe the Time Trials days,
We cannot take your pick.
but always a name I recognized. Did I not buy the noble stock? The mushroom? Did not. May as well get spendy here, actually. I could buy the worm, too. Robe of the Weave. It is pretty good AC for an unarmored setup. Sure, we'll keep that. More stuff for Thistlebald Poison, maybe? Do you not like my emote additions? Chat is still kind of readable, so it's fine. I'm trying to balance this transaction. Being a little bit greedy about it, but it's fine. Everything's fine. See how fine this is? I haven't read the Necromancy of Fae yet, so I don't want to read the Codex yet. Oh, I could just do that now, actually. I already used the mirror. Yeah, let's just do that.
You try to examine the book, but the longer you stare, the book glyphs shift gently before your eyes. Words slip into your mind, onto your lips, forming words. The symbols move aggressively, probing your mental defenses.
Rolling with disadvantage because I don't care.
You, but there's only so ever you feel claws moving in the shadows. They pull at you, dragging you closer.
Don't care.
The glyphs, the books.
That. Read this again. Don't care.
But as you close.
Both curses at once. Now I can sell that. Foe Breaker. It's another tenacity weapon. Ignores bludgeoning resistance. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I'll keep that around. Questions ever worthwhile to stop and press this thing? So for some backgrounds, it's an inspo point, which can be worth it. And the effect is if you resolve it in a favorable way to yourself, you get a slight discount with most vendors in the city on the following day. Short answer, yeah, it's worth doing. It's just easy to forget to do. It's easiest to do after you've already neutralized the Steel Watchers by destroying the Foundry, because then in the basement there's no patrols anymore. But if you do it before that point, you have to fight or evade like 2 Steel Watchers. Which sometimes that's an issue, often it's not. Phone, can you not? Do want some combat opener scrolls. I'll take a... I don't actually... change my mind again. I do want Greater Invis. Doing on money? 4K? Without going to the bank, that's pretty solid. Back to Lower City Central. Let's make nice with the Hag survivors. I do want to try out Marco Flame Strike, but I'll do that on a different fight. I've also opted to not summon my mummy yet. Shadows. those. Let's get the worm going.
The doll keeps teleporting. We need to find a way to stop it. You're the cleric. Any ideas? You treacherous bastard! I'll kill you myself!
Not the red coats. Oh, please.
I'm an imbecile! Blast it all. A way to burn their bones to ash. There's a...
Counterspell staff.
Could I have missed the signs?
Hagsbane. Yeah, drill. I can see it. I can see it. Think about fully unarmored setup. Robe of the Weave would be 5 less AC, but I could have mage armor, so it'd be 2 less AC. Then I could do Bone Spike and Bracers of Defense, as long as I didn't use a shield. That would be 1 more AC than Agility, unless I got to the 22 dex bracket. Though, it's without Humble Baldurin, so it'd be the same AC. Would I gain anything? No. Okay. So we are sticking with armor. If you're crafting new patch 8 build yet, no point doing so until you have access to patch 8. And no point doing that until you have access to like the actual release version of patch 8. Things are still in flux. Also, a gentle reminder to keep patch 8 spoilers out of the chat. No one has done anything yet, but just in case.
I am so glad you asked, Edward. No. No, a bit too long. Mr. Need.
9 plus 11. How much do I care? You illuminated? You are.
The streets were packed. The stairs.
There you have this. Big H. Hey, Tweedledope. Later, loser. Tempted to Hadar on myself. I'll kick to the face. She Hadar my dollar till I hungy. Should call her. Apple is on cooldown.
There goes nothing.
Bring my dagger. These guys don't have evasion. A good fight.
A passphrase, Sicarius, and a location. We should find this Candle Hallow place.
Now that hold person I YOLO'd a dollar was listed as 70%, which no, I do not consider that consistent. I was just set up in a way where I didn't care if it worked or not.
I want to have a word.
Tash is the
The blushing not my preferred drinking hole, dear readers. In fact, cold. To describe this.
Not everyone's.
What's up for discussion?
Not everyone's subs.
The approach.
Extension
would you
correct?
like to
Yes.
be more than a common murderer? To become an avatar of slaughter.
Sure thing. Last time I got an invitation like this, life got a lot more interesting.
You remove.
It isn't yours, it is now. No one else is using it.
To find a way forward.
Flawless logic, no arguments.
A locked door has
Did he get extra attack first round of combat after using the speed potion? Because it was my first attack. So, like, I triggered the combat with hold person. He was held. I didn't have my action because I used it on that whole person. I used my bonus action to trigger a speed pot, which gave me another action. So I was able to use that action to get my extra attack. It's not that extra attack doesn't work on haste on honor mode necessarily. It's that you don't get the benefit of extra attack on your haste action if you've already gotten it on your regular action. And there are a couple kinds of extra action granting things that don't have this stipulation. The Fire Myrmidon's version of haste doesn't have this stipulation. Fighter's Action Surge doesn't have this stipulation. It's like two other things that are obscure that I'm not remembering right now that work that way. Permanent Mind Sanctuary action conversion, I think, works that way too.
this before.
Approach
You
ass.
took this spirit. You
Being this much bigger than Saravok is funny. Like, what's up, little bro?
Boy, I know.
spare no.
Someone will stop you, Barlist. When they do, I hope it hurts.
With the port.
Someone start trolling a chat. Use my favorite new emoji.
Unholy assassin does have a certain ring to it.
I offer you instruments which will aid in enacting your foul whims.
So ballast armor is also Dex AC tanking compatible. It just has 3 less than armor of agility. That would be at what, 25 AC in combat? Current loadout. Well, not bad necessarily. I gotta use ballast armor this run? I don't think I am. Yeah, I don't think so. Vicious Battle Axe is a versatile weapon. Hey, Dreyfus, how are you? Oh, hey, Gigi, thank you for the raid. I totally didn't see the notification. Thank you very much. As always, appreciate you immensely. Chat, go follow Gigi. Welcome in, everybody. If you don't know me, I'm Quag. I do Baldur's Gate 3 challenge runs, build crafting, science, that kind of stuff. We're doing a Celestial Warlock mod run, and I've multi-classed with Monk. Doing a pretty cool packed weapon interaction showcase, I suppose. Be the way to phrase that. I don't need the cowl because I already have Bolo's Eye. Guess I'll just buy this stuff for now. Come back for Ballast Armor later if I want it. It's actually Loot Sarabok's office.
What's inside?
This is Quag you speak of. How was your stream, GG? Ever use the 1T armor? Sometimes, but usually I'm more into other armors in Act 2, and then in Act 3, 1T is just almost strictly worse than Armor of Agility. At TD Max, haven't played Baldur's Gate in a couple months, or their new subclasses, their new ones. In Patch 8. Patch 8 is not out yet. Patch 8 has been in a sort of early access stress testing window for the past 2 months about. But Patch 8 is not released to the public, so those subclasses are not in the game yet. Hit the gauntlet. Sorry to raid around when I'm sleepy. Go bed now. Yeah, get some rest. Thank you, Gigi.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
Greater Flesh Revel ever die? Just be this thing that haunt us forever. Maybe they address it in Patch 8. They're making some weird choices. We'll see. I want to go buy the dead shot. I think I want to go buy the dead shot. I want to have minus crit. Look for the new patch. Is this the crossplay patch? Patch 8 is also crossplay. It's new subclasses, it's crossplay, and it's photo mode.
Need something for defense? Or maybe offense? Either way, I've got what you need.
Awesome, thanks. You're very welcome. Day 1 noob, download the game all night, go on our campaign. Best of luck. Doing that there. Yeah, let's go Shadow Cloaked. What else do I like here? Strange Conduit, maybe? Yeah, Strange Conduit makes sense. Let me do this, and the play is basically, once combat starts, I unequip the Sentinel Shield, so that I get the two-handed damage on Voss's sword. Morning, Urban Mech.
That's a friendly-looking shadow.
Only one spell slot, do I care? Not really. I should have tested Marco Flame Strike here. That's fine. Nice little crit there. Silly. I'll keep the AC for now, actually. overlay shows you both psychic and radiant resistance right now. I don't have psychic resistance, the overlay's bugged. I have psychic vulnerability. Radiant resistance is coming from my subclass. Just a little kick there. So I want to see crater flesh damage. Be my test dummy. Savage attacks. An extra d6. Melee critters wounds. Thanks to being a half orc. You can get Shadow Thief on that because it wasn't unarmed. Still nice though. Hey, Dade.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
I could get my mummy summon going now, actually. These rats are good targets. Time to carry a rat around. Don't have DR. Dealing with heat would be awkward. Make a quick gear revision. Okay, stomach, relax. So, the supposedly game-breaking Helldusk. Oh, it's so crazy. Less AC. I'm lowering my AC to test an interaction. I do want to hold that for now. Shart, you can have that. You can have that too. I can cast Counterspell already. Computer can barely handle this game. It still looks pretty good on low settings, so you can lower that. I'm sure you've thought of this. The big thing is having the game on an SSD, or else it'll really struggle in the larger areas, especially in the later game. Yeah, this is what I want to try out here. I have to grab Lantarv's body. That's fine. I'll just have to actually shop with Lucretius. SSD sadly isn't big enough for this game. Yeah, it's unfortunate. What plays on Steam Deck works decently well with low settings there. Loading screens are monka though. Oof. Yeah, I bet.
Wish I had a bag of holding.
Had to go console first. My PC couldn't handle it. Played very well on the PS5. Managed to platinum on a controller. That's fun tonight.
Sort of magic.
It's gotta be immaculate.
This calls for careful footwork. No one stopped me yet. At the ready.
May we be worthy of you.
Don't want to draw any attention. What path lies before me? Here goes nothing. Can't risk being in open view. There's an inscription on the ring. I don't recognize the language, though.
You need to disable those Apple News push notifications too. Got one yesterday. Department of Education. Yeah, it's yeah. It's a lot, dude. It's a lot. I just eat this hit. I really want to.
With a flick of the wrist.
Simply move the corpse, so I haven't ever done that. There's
Where
a
can I go?
lot of answers to a lot of problems in this game. I prefer moving that corpse so I don't have to worry about taking the damage or anything. Take the problem and move it over there. Accurate.
Bring it quiet. Move with care.
Looking closer, the rings.
I do wonder about opening the store by hitting that lever through the wall. I've never tried.
Stupid bones. You will sit.
All successful, huh? Still got a surprise run. So what I want to do here is I want to build up heat. It's 2 crit misses out of 3 attacks. Okay, Friday's going to force me to be off. Have to watch Quag on my iPhone. Oh, I'm sorry, then hope the day goes quickly so you can get back in your preferred Quag watching configuration. That sounds so conceited. I hated saying that. Let's take a look at this. So, heat convergence applied to each, yeah. Radiant Soul applied to each. No Marco bonus. So, this is like Destructive Wave. It's not primarily fire, so it doesn't get, the benefit of Grip by Kareska's Flame. Okay, so not a Marco build. Good info. Fire Arrow is more fire spell than Flame Strike. But that is what I wanted to confirm. Don't need the Helldusk armor anymore. Why Lathander for Cazador? That makes sense to me. I did learn Daylight, though. Vicious Battle Axe? A totally Vicious Battle Axe.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
And what am I going to be concentrating on? Egg, I guess. I'll just do Hex.
I'll feel that one later. Here we go.
You stand on it. There are some scuffs to show its age.
It's a both spell. I don't think you read the messages there. Is it considered Destructive Wave? So, like I said, it doesn't consider Destructive Wave to be a Thunder spell. Destructive Wave is either a Thunder or excuse me, either a radiant or a necrotic spell, depending on which version you choose. Like if I use Destructive Wave from Marco on this character, and I chose the Radiant variant, then my subclass feature would apply to the Radiant damage, because that's Radiant spell. So I could use Marco for that, but using Flame Strike, similarly, the Radiant portion will work for that, but the Fire portion won't work for Marco's bonus. There's some games where certain damage sources are considered mutually exclusive. Apparently this is one of them. Just clarifying though? Yeah.
Please.
Should mind my step.
I guess we'll pop a universal res for this.
These boots have seen everything.
Plus 11 initiative, there's still a solid chance Cazador outspeeds me. Like, do I care though? I actually got really funny here. Erathanol. No, it would apply to both instances in powered evocation. Extremely common evocation wizard W. Extremely common. I did make this my packed weapon. Shadows. That failed. No surprise round, but yeah, I rolled a 1. On the DC2 stealth check, I rolled a fucking 1. Yeah. Sure. Keep the shield on, I guess. Lincoln missed Chatterteeth's demise? Yes. Flew over to Chatterteeth, threw them there, and then pushed them off. Having Bloodlust or Poison Resist in my Elixir slot would be much better here. I'm just getting kind of lazy. Battle Axes have Cleave? do? Right over there. Oh, that's great. Solo Ritual Cazador is a challenge. This version is pretty simple. Solo, yeah. Honestly, Solo Ritual Cazador, I still don't really view as that much of a challenge. It requires prep in a way that this version doesn't require prep at all. Other than paralysis immunity and not letting Chatterteeth get a turn. Don't have water. Whoops. Hey, don't be funny.
Should get started.
Isn't that funny? We win. Mean Solo Ascended? No. I mean Ritual Cazador. Ascended Cazador is actually weaker than Cazador right before he ascends. Sounds crazy, I know, but... Like Orin in ball form. You mean the Slayer form? The Slayer form does have a far more threatening ability than anything Orin in humanoid form can do. Two things that are actually far more threatening. My opinion on Slayer form Orin versus humanoid Orin has changed over time. And I think it's because people just don't fucking understand how good the Slayer is. Whether it's in Orin's hands or yours. If she gets you with Piercing Growl and you're not prepared, that's it. It's over. If she gets you with Contagion and you don't have a way to remove that from yourself, that's it. It's over. Human Orin can't do either of those things. I'll use Luck of the Far Realms here. Attack him first, though. Party wants to Flame Strike over here. Let's do it. This one I forgot to put on my crit meter for Orin. Guess I'll dive. Classic, forgot to equip. Use Karnas. Karnas does a shit ton of damage, yeah. That's very valid. Felt successful. Fight, I guess.
Don't waste a step.
Anything you want to say? Don't.
Hey, Jabrish. Snurl.
Exhausted. Better find somewhere to camp soon.
I forgot to bring my mummy in the fight. Oops. Mummy.
Yes.
Surviving the worst timeline so far. So far.
What in the hells? I never knew any of this was here.
So far.
Approaching the cells, you're met.
I have a lot of choice words that would get me deplatformed. But the core emotion is boundless and unyielding hatred. Yeah, good descriptor.
Get over here.
We can do this. But if I complete the ritual, think of the power I'll have. With me by your side, we can... You're right. I can be better than them. But I'm not above enjoying this.
Me win right now. Yeah. 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 It appears the attempt to sleep the troubles away critical failed. Something like that, Grim Preacher. How you doing?
Is it over?
What does that mean for us?
What do you want it to mean?
I don't know.
Cazador's staff control the
I'm releasing. Good job, Astari.
That's it. He's gone. these years, these centuries, it's really over.
How does it feel?
I'm not sure. I feel a little numb. What I've lost. What I've gained.
Still got woe and a no looting? Yes.
It's also
because that's placed into my inventory by cutscene. I wouldn't get Rhapsody, but I would get woe,
in the Underdark. I need some time,
which is cool. I do like that. Woe is a good item. And especially given I wouldn't be able to get Marco Heshkir, wouldn't be able to get Staff of Spell Power, wouldn't be able to get Staff of Cherish Necromancy. In terms of spell save DC increasing weapons, Woe is likely the most desirable one I'll get. So that's cool. Can't get Morning Frost early, can't get Morning Frost at all in a no looting run. Also, it's not spell save DC increasing. It's nothing to do with that. Doing no looting? Yeah, the next run's probably no looting. Lowest price. Becomes no. No, my looking part queues up. Wife recently complained about this good ending. She feels Vampire Spawn should team about Avengers style setup and protect the city. To admit, would not mind that being a patch 8 thing. There's a lot of... like, that's very hopeful and feel good and stuff. But a lot of these people have just been victims for hundreds of years. They don't... they're not heroes or anything. They are just... some of them literal children who got abducted. Some of them are just people who saw a hot guy and connected with him and were like, okay, let's see where this goes. And then they end up a vampire spawn in a basement for 130 years. Just random citizens. And then also some of the spawn, you know, the ones that are Astarian siblings are horrible fucking people who would never do that. Like, Astarian isn't even the most evil of them. You know, that cursed corpse upstairs, you know, the child? They had a dispute over that kid. And one of them killed her just to see if another one was telling the truth. Like, no. No. Do I use Rhapsody? I'm so sick of Rhapsody. But Rhapsody Flame Strike. They also have the Hunger. Starian also tried to save one of his victims, was punished by being put inside a coffin for an entire year, so definitely not the worst. Yeah, like, with Astarian, he's fixable. Realistically, I don't think that some of those spawn are ever going to be anything more than what they are, except they do still deserve the chance to make those mistakes.
You killed.
You.
Okay, bye. Starian's a good man on the inside? No, he is not. Let's make that very clear. No, he's not. He can get better.
What can I do for you?
But he is inside the bounds of Baldur's Gate 3 and everything he did before Baldur's Gate 3. He is not a good man. That is key. Doesn't mean he can't become one. But no, he is not a good man. That potential makes a person good. By that logic, everyone's good because everyone is capable of doing good. And some people, like Cazador, even though you get the full backstory on the circumstances on why the way he is, that does not make him anything less than evil. Remember, before being turned, Astarian was a corrupt magistrate. Part of what makes Astarian's story work is that no, he is not a good man. But he can become aware of that and grow. And I think that's what makes some of these characters interesting. Like, Astarian is not a good man. Halsin is not a good man. Will is a good man. But they are all flawed in different ways. All of them make horrible choices. Not becoming his father is definitely a good step. It is. And I maintain that Astarian in the good ending, in the epilogue camp, has some choice words that show that he is on his way to becoming a better person. He has pressed the empathy button and understands it. He's still him, but he's growing. And I think that's good. And once again, he deserves the chance to heal and to be able to define himself by things outside of his trauma, which can only happen with time and, you know, support and that freedom that he's been craving. You don't need to be able to label him as a good person to be able to say that he deserves better. I think his willingness to grow is what makes him good. It's a personal thing, I guess. My hope is everyone has that chance in Gamer IRL. Everyone deserves the chance, but that does not make someone inherently good. Let me apply your logic to another character within the IP. Saravok. We gonna call him good? Because a big part of his story is he's the big bad in BG1. In the endgame of BG2, you interact with him again. He's not sorry. He hasn't changed. He's just kind of in worse straits after his death. Then, in the expansion to BG2, he has the potential of a redemption arc. Saravok does a change towards good alignment overall. False. In Baldur's Gate 2, you can make him change his alignment. You can. Clearly, in the events of BG3, it didn't stick. But that is a path you can take through BG2. And none of the lore details in BG3 contradict that in BG2. It's fully possible that that happened and he still ended up here. So does that mean that Saravok is good? No, it doesn't. Doesn't mean that he's doomed to always be evil, either. But it doesn't make him good. People having the capacity to be better does not make them good people. Because Cazador has the capacity to be better, too. Cazador is aware that he's a fucking asshole. You can detect thoughts on him in the coffin, and without all the bluster, you can see that he has regrets, he's got his own traumas, he's very much a product of a Cazador before him in Velioth. But that doesn't matter, because he's evil. He's not good. He's responsible for his actions. Hey Siggy, how are you? Out of all the origin characters, what would you say is the rank good evil? I'd say in terms of good aligned, Will and Karlak, definitely. Minsk, definitely. Chihira and Gale, I'd probably throw them in neutral with, like, good tendencies. Same with Shadowheart. Though, you know, you can't label her good outright because of the whole Shar thing. Minthara is absolutely going in evil. Astarian, at least at the beginning of the game, is absolutely going in evil, and Lae'zel, again, at least at the beginning of the game, is absolutely going in evil. Lae'zel's a lawful evil. Yeah. Regarding trauma responses, I'm a very strong believer in it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility once we get to adulthood, of course. Yeah, like, having a clearly defined set of circumstances that led you to be the way you are does not mean that you have the right to inflict your trauma on everybody you come across. Like, because someone traumatized you, that does not give you carte blanche to traumatize others. That's not how it works. You don't get the, oh, they're a good person, they just went through some stuff. You don't get that. What fight am I picking next? Redcaps? Yeah, let's go fight some redcaps. Let's get Connor up and running first, though. A woman. Yes. Yes. It's like Gatekeep Girl Boss. Nice. Lae'zel and Shadowheart also exhibit that tendency towards change and growth, though. I wouldn't classify them evil in Endgame. Well, there are paths where you can absolutely classify both of them as evil at Endgame. If Shadowheart becomes the leader of the Sharan Cloister, she is not even vaguely reminiscent of the person that she used to be. And she is the #1 agent of one of the most evil deities in the setting. And she is gleefully on board with the entire agenda. That's evil. And a Lae'zel who stays completely loyal to Vlaakith through the entire game never gets any character development. She stays exactly where she is. So if she's evil at the start of the game and she doesn't change, she's evil at the end of the game. Call them evil if we choose to make them evil. So if Lae'zel is evil at the start of the game, and the direction you take her character is to not change it at all, Lae'zel is evil at the end of the game. Yeah, we fail to help them move past it. Yeah. Most of the companions have some sort of flexibility in terms of, you know, if this was BG1 or 2, you would see their alignment change on their character sheet, which you could do for several companions, in BG2 in particular. Like, you could change Viconia from neutral evil to true neutral, I believe. You could change Saravok from chaotic evil to chaotic good. You could change Animen from lawful neutral to... It was either lawful neutral to lawful good or lawful good to lawful neutral. I forget which. Character sucks. Like, that guy's awful, but, you know, you could change him. I can turn him evil. Maybe you can turn him evil. I know you can make him no longer good. Even though I don't think labeling him as lawful good to begin with is valid. Yeah, that guy sucks. Your wellness check. But yeah, you could change the alignment of a few companions. And I'd argue that, in particular, Lae'zel, Astari, and Shadowheart do follow that template. Still shook by that cutscene at the end of Vlaakith following Lae'zel's ending. Hadn't seen it for my last run. All the husks of those gifts. Yeah, you get to see the very real consequences of what Vlaakith was doing. So that's full remittance stacked up. I don't think I need this much initiative. Go Ketheric Shield. I don't think I'm gonna use Shovel, but don't have any short rest left, so I'll use Elixir. Hey Pris, how are you? Alignment was a much bigger deal in 2nd edition, which BG 1 and 2 are based off of. Not as prominent in 5th, more descriptive than prescriptive. Right. Blue collar nerd. Alignment dictated your class options and many other things. I do think moving away from the alignment system is a good choice. Personally, but I'm gonna go Pact of the Chain with Fiend. I think Blade's better with like the pets. Do it. There's no wrong answer. Use Silence on Wrath with Oathbreaker not in my camp. So how dead are you? Yeah, I've lost a run that way. Extremely common Paladin Elf. Extremely exceptionally. Yeah, sounds right. No shame in that one.
Welcome to the Blushing Mermaid. We've got rules and they will be followed.
Unless the maid is on fire, shove off. Actually, just leave me to burn. Oh, bloody hangover.
What did you...
No one will.
Still alive. That's progress. Can't risk being in open view.
Mommy.
My hand slipped.
Captain Grizzly, fear to sea! The between God.
Really want to hit a juicy Flame Strike here, but I also want to make sure they're thoroughly grouped. Because I got the surprise round, to take the time to continue to group them. Fucking attempt to. Do it this way.
I think you can take me on.
There's another barrel here. May as well move that in there. Why not, right? Any more barrels? No, just those two.
Such pretty skin. I want
Okay. Reapply slowed, so your deck saves are reduced. Did I forget my Moon Lantern in Act 2 like I normally do? I didn't. I think I got him.
Don't mind if I do. They didn't bring much with them, of course. So much as a rattle for the bee.
I can spare some things. My boy's all grown up now. He can miss a toy or two.
Scrolling. Yeah, Scarlet Ribbons on both halves. Radiant Soul on both halves. So with my Charisma modifier being 3 and Ribbons being +3, I'm adding 6 damage to each half of Flame Strike. So we're adding a floor of 12, and I have Callous Glow going on each half. So we're adding a floor of 16 damage to this spell per target. Closing work, must slurp some nudes. You know, I'm gonna avoid the obvious jokes. Because I'm evolved, right, Jake?
Here's something. I believe there's a Kevin near you.
You're growing, something is.
What kind of shit is grizzly
The mermaid, faithful readers, has the tackiest art.
Do I get unstable blood? No, I think I avoid that. And right back where we started. What do you need? Thank you for destroying my desk. Alright, who wants this? It's malfunctioning. Look over me. Look over me. Over here. What you do? It's not coming through, but his purr never shuts off. They handle aura in its non-dirge soul honor mode. So stopping Baal's Edict is the biggest thing. Well, thing 1, stop Baal's Edict. Thing 2, have knockback immunity. Because Orin can and will try to knock you off the edge with Sanguine Lash. But also, you need all of the cultist chanting to either stop chanting or be dead. Which is, you know, another way of stopping their chanting. Because otherwise you will have to get a kill every round or die. There's a few ways of doing that. You can either kill them all very quickly, you can silence them, You can hypnotic pattern them. You can try to knock everyone off the edge, but they are all sanctuary, so you need to do it indirectly or use some of the few things that will allow you to target through sanctuary. Effects and spells that target through sanctuary include synaptic discharge from us, include the blight spell, the thorn whip spell, the chain lightning spell. All of those will allow you to directly click on someone who's sanctuaried. But realistically, Thunderwave with Arcane Acuity is pretty okay. Cloud Kill is pretty good. Just a rant? I mean, rant. I'm talking. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You ever fought a T-Rex boss in BL2? Oh, yeah. Yeah. That thing is awful. Alright, Cat. What's your deal? Come over here. What do you even need? Pop off your food. You definitely have food in here. Overkill. Eat that instead of my desk, perhaps? You would consider that, sir? Ow, I tripped. Ow. It's lost one life, is basically the end. That boss's ass. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Gage. I'm really sorry. Make it us to Act 3. If you save us in Act 1, then us is in the Mind Flayer colony at the end of Act 2. You can save him again. Get him as a summon. Cloud Kill, of course. Never done it. Worry about Cloud Killing whoever's been kidnapped. So you can, from outside of the fight, Candy May, throw a poison resistance elixir at them. It'll land on them, give them the effect. If you have a poison resistance elixir active, not only do you have resistance to poison damage, you're immune to being poisoned. And the way Cloud Kill does its damage, it counts as being poisoned. So if you have that elixir on, you're immune. Usually kill us on the Nautiloid for the 10 XP. It's a waste. Like, even if you just want XP out of us and don't want to use the summons, still better to save us there and then kill them in the Mind Flayer colony, where it's worth 40 XP instead of 10. But also, like, just have the temporary follower and then the summon later. Even in Act 1, 10 XP is nothing.
You brought her back. Here.
Duelist Prerogative, one of my favorite items. Could use it. This would let me Hellish Rebuke twice in a turn. That's fun. Go back to saving us. Yeah, I didn't get us this run, but I do recommend going for us.
I have something to ask.
How can I help you? Huh. I suppose that at least I can help with.
That's the Soul Rejuvenation. Could be fun though. Especially with Duelist Prerogative. I kinda wanna do it. Alright, we gotta sell more stuff. I need money, so let's go rob a bank. Valid, based even. we're just gonna worship at the altar of capitalism by taking shit that belongs to others.
Seems simple enough.
Welcome to a relaxed tone and easy smile, but the halfling's shifting gaze gives it away. Something has him rattled.
Oh, he's an unusual sort of customer, but the head banker said he'd handle it, so it's fine.
Cat ears were in the way of my screen. Cat moved them. Rather large and heavily armed myself, why not let me check on your head banker just to be safe? Want to know I opened Photoshop to make that screenshot you took an emote, my pride wouldn't let me do it. I'm internally quagmatting at you.
Account holder's own, which is
You're not quite to external quagmad levels, but you're on thin ice.
Anything of use? Just out of view. With a flick of the wrist. Time to press ahead.
Matic.
Told him. I'm not that kind of drow. What did he say? And I'm not kidding. Stopping you?
There's 3 aid scrolls in the game. That's the third one. I missed one of them, and I used one in the Merkle fight. I don't need to...
Interviews, politics, gossip. All of it gets in that bloody balder's mouth.
What sound did I just hear? Oh, that was odd. Still have my disguise on? It's fine. There's only 3? Yep, only 3. Can't be scribed either.
I need a quick word.
How can I help? Huh. I suppose that, at least, I can help with.
I'm going to buy these haste scrolls. See how much money I have left over after I shop with old Roland here. I see him rolling. We're going to buy Birthright. We can equip it for slightly better prices. Sell. Buy. I'm rolling and I'm not hating. I'll take remove curse there. More expeditious retreat, sure. Yeah, I did buy Chain Lightning specifically for going to piece up Viconia to get her shield. I guess we do that soon too. Ice Storm's nice to have. What, Ring of Regen? Of Landfall? Not really interested in either of those. Can't do that. I could Marco chain lighting on Viconia. No, let's get Wave Mother's Robe. Let's get Terrazul and Wave Mother's Robe. Some water bottles to apply wet. I'm gonna use Wave Mother's Robe. If I go best to Soul Rejuvenation, Helldusk Helmet, Bracers of Defense, instead of Boots of Persistence. I guess this would be Bone Spike in a perfect world, which I could go get. Not bad. Could have Roland's Mage Armor, 25. Atrial Shield of Fate, 27. Wave Mother's, 29. Yeah, that's not bad. And then Bone Spike, 30. Yeah, let's bust up the drug deal. Dade lawyering. Love to see it. Make sure I steal the product. Money. You're trying out a Radiating Orb Archer, built anything like that before, any advice? So, my advice about that, Blue Collar Nerd, is the interaction you just described is not a build. It's a gear interaction you can slot on any build. It's as simple as you take Callous Glow Ring, you take Luminous Gloves, and you use whatever bow you want, and that's that. It's not something you build around, it's something you slot into other setups. So it's something you could do if you're doing an archer. In terms of classes that I feel would do that in a most desirable manner, you'd be looking at either pure class fighter or pure class hunter. But try to keep in mind when build crafting, if it's just a thing that everyone can do, it's not a build. It's a tool. Just like how labeling a build something like an attack roll build is kind of a nothing burger, because most builds will be making attack rolls at some point. You don't really glean any useful information from that. It's like saying damage build. Well, the goal of most builds is to do damage. You can get a vague idea of what someone might be getting at, but there's no actionable information there. So think of things as like, okay, what's a situation where radiating orb stacking on enemies would be useful? If you're fighting some enemies that have good attack rolls, then radiating orbs are useful there. If you're fighting enemies that aren't really making attack rolls, but they're doing more saving throw type stuff to you, well then, not as useful there. That makes sense?
This calls for careful footwork.
Love Flame Strike. Done. So it did let me burn both my reactions, but only one of the attacks happened. Noted. Absolutely think I haven't tried Hunter yet. What do you like about Hunter? Extremely potent AoE. Remember, Rangers have the exact same amount of support for weapon use as fighters. Fighters don't have more. And at level 11, where fighters get their improved extra attack, well, hunters get access to whirlwind attack and volley. Those are actions they can use to replace their regular attacks. They don't have cooldowns or anything. It's just very large AoEs. So think of it as a regular attack, except with a targeting circle this big. And you just regular attack against everyone in the range. Hunters can just do that on every attack at level 11. Like Hunter just takes forever to fully get online? Not true. You get Horde Breaker at level 3. And Horde Breaker is like the second most desirable AoE attack maneuver. It's not quite as potent as Whirlwind Attack Volley, but Horde Breaker is incredibly good. And you get that as soon as you get the subclass. And then at level 6, you can pick up Multi-Attack Defense, which is extremely good for AC tanking, because anything that attacks you more than once, think of it as you just kind of passively activate the shield spell against that enemy specifically each time they make an attack on you. And that also applies a condition, so if you're doing something like, you know, Reverb Boots, Cold Brim Hat, you're condition stacking that way too. But yeah, in terms of core fighter features versus core ranger features, they're extremely comparable. So you can be as good with weapons as the best of them. Yes, I said the B word. But you get some really cool tech. Ready to fight the Power CL later? Sounds good, Dade. The B word? Yes, the thing you are, Fish. The best. got him. How are you?
You spot a curious metal.
I just got turned around.
Better be cautious.
Hey, you like cats, man? Well, you think he's okay? I'll see you in the Iron Throne, man. Lost a run to Bogrot, so starting new again. Yeah, Bogrot, I don't fight there anymore. Because you can skip all the fights there effectively, and a large number of goblins, especially early on. Scary stuff. Like, remember, you never have to fight the ones that ambush you on the way in. And you get their XP when you talk your way past them, so they just kind of sit there forever for me. Bogrot, Blighted Village.
Is it done? Made.
Game's stuttery. Two to saving throws against spells. This works for me. Also, Odie is serving. Just to check the aggro on my last run, perception check, notice them. There's other ways of dealing with that. For example, if anyone in your party is capable of being a drow, drow can just, like, they'll notice you're a drow and they'll be like, oh, my bad. And you can be like, yeah, don't let it happen again. You get in for free. You can use your Illithid once per long rest persuasion for a DC 5 option to just get in. You can, instead of going through the east side, you can go to the south side, and then the guards there will talk to you, and you can offer like a donation to the town, and you can give them like 50 gold to just get in. You get all the XP and everything. Yeah, you don't need the perception check. You can just walk in. If you send the drow person in ahead of time, they'll notice you. You'll still get surprised, but they'll notice you, and they'll be like, oh, sorry. So, very encumbered. Some of this stuff away. Where did I leave my summons this time? Not even sure. Walked in, the initiative is rolled, then you walk too far in. If you're just walking through the east side gate, you will get surprised and then conversation will start. Did you, like, jump in, fly in? Did you somehow bypass that conversation? something else had to have happened there. We still have one more universal res.
Breathe quiet. Move with care.
Do kind of want spell slots back. Let's do that. I may have bypassed the combo path in a weird way. Yeah, that sounds right. Alright, so common misconception about the House of Grief is that it's difficult. It isn't.
Should mind my step.
Fly in here. Everyone's already hostile because of the way I entered the area. You care about cats today? Some days they do, some days they don't.
Burdens shall be lifted, all pains forgotten. We shall be free.
Free from light, free from pain, free from all burdens.
Lady Shah shall restore us to our purest
Great water for surprise round. Stand somewhere where there isn't water. Good old toaster bath. Tried and true. Combat may reset here. That's fine. Just flying. Turn base mode real quick. Pop back to main menu. if you go lethargic while flying, your character gets stuck in this weird, I don't want to do anything animation state, so I'm just gonna preempt that. Went out over 2 hours straight on this fight, my first run, still haunted by it. It's a wake-up call. If you haven't been engaging with certain mechanics in the game up to this point, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna assume you know how to do this. Go. And if you don't, it's rough. Live, laugh, toaster bath. My biggest issues lately has been going too damn fast. Such a hurry to get through Act 1 to keep making mistakes. Yeah, I can understand that. It can feel like a slog to have to go through Act 1 again and again after a reset, but the way I try to view it is you are building the foundation of your run. A well-executed Act 1 is going to make the rest of the game much easier for you. Act 1's my favorite, personally. I think Act 1 is the most lovingly crafted and well-designed part of the game. Act 2 is my favorite, but I do think Act 1 is where they truly cooked the most. They're surprised that they're wet. I should call her. Arcane battery here. So because Radiant Retort is not on fucking anything in this fight except for Viconia anymore, you could just do shit like that. I hate it. Still the surprise round, or is this the follow-up? No, this is not. You there. You there. Part of me wants to Flame Strike, but Eldritch Blast would be a smarter click. Summoning Scratch would be the smartest click here. Turn off Call the Weak, put on one with Shadows. Fly over here. I feel like Act 1's done best, Act 2's done well too. So impressed how they actually make Baldur's Gate feel like part of a big city. Can't think of any other game pulled off City felt so alive. Cyberpunk 2077. Yes, I never stopped glazing that game. let the lethargic run happen. Quag glaze? Got your quag glaze. No, no. I don't have your quag glaze right here. Actually, out of stock.
Just out of view.
Keep your cut. Cheeky old person. Counter spell bone chill. Blast. Do I Eldritch Blast here? No, my attacks do more right now. Especially with the worm. So, 5 stacks of purple worm here. Will they? Handmaid's Mace is interesting. My strength is already 18, but if I was doing a lower strength setup, it'd be cool on this, because I could use it as a monk weapon, I could blade pact it, force it to dex scaling. It would be raising my strength up to a decent threshold Got the built-in bonus poison. Can always respec. Carry weight. Oh, okay, I dropped something. Oh yeah, I want to try a Pyro Quickness hat. We'll find time. Helmet of Grit could be cool too. Yeah, that could be really cool actually. Might mess around with it. Hey, Carrie. And thank you everyone for the GGs. The way I came in here, Nocturne will be hostile, so we're just not gonna go in there. I don't want to kill her.
I need a moment for the two of us.
Almost pleasant traveling with company. If you... Oh.
You guys deserve to eat today. Maintain that dress had seams on the side before Sharp put it on.
Another vile trick.
No, there is no trick. It's her, Jennifer, Jan, our little girl.
Moon Maiden's grace. It is you.
I'm here to get you out of here. They're all gone. It's over.
Do you know Shart has a necklace?
It is not over. You see, it matters not if you raise this place. If you slay every one of your brothers and sisters.
Slay?
That was never where my power resided. Every time you tried to step away from me, every time you tried
Got to see the secret level D&D episode? Yes.
deeper. If you had learned.
Yes, the cringe emote. Yes. I'm so proud of you.
But you struggle on. You will make things worse for yourself. And for them.
I was checking the emote picker to see what I have. We should leave.
Leave. You should never have come.
I should call her.
You should have hidden away forever.
You cannot. The moon.
Ella, this is my...
Shah's part.
Shah, your companion, understands, I think. And you all the... She will still be with you. By the
It's your
Moon
choice.
Maiden's grace will...
I didn't come this far just to give up at the final hurdle. We're leaving this place together. I'm going to take care of you.
I maintain the Warhammer episode is the coolest one.
You must not
You're no burden.
I really enjoyed the Unreal Tournament one, honestly. I think that was my favorite one.
But
Hush, Arnel. Jen wants her family. Jen shall have her family. How can we help, dear?
I like the Pac-Man one too. Yeah, that was cool.
Get out.
Okay.
Everything.
She's just standing there, sharding.
I wasn't expecting it, if you're sure.
Let's see. Give me this armor back. This. What is so heavy? Suppose I don't really need the caustic bulbs right now. You can hold the Handmaiden's Mace for right now too. Same with the Orthon bombs. Making room. So we'll be at 29 AC once combat starts. The Golden Age of BioWare's Mass Effect 2 to 3 and Dragon Age 2. For me, it was KOTOR 1 and Jade Empire through Dragon Age 2. It was like, that was KOTOR 1, it was Jade Empire, it was Mass Effect, it was Mass Effect 2, it was Dragon Age, it was Dragon Age 2. All of that. Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about Jade Empire a couple times recently. I did reinstall it this week. I'm kind of juggling too many games right now. But I do want to give it another playthrough. It has been too many years. But yeah, modern BioWare is not even a shadow of what it used to be. And some people would do the fucking brain rot take of their games are too woke. A lot of people have injected that into the conversation about BioWare. It's like, no, their games were always that. That's what made them good. It's just their writers are shit now. Sometimes it's just bad writing. I was saying this to a friend, I was like, BioWare has always been LGBTQ plus friendly since ages. Yeah, like, they were including non-heteronormative romance arcs in their games in 2003. 2003. Like... They were at least acknowledging the existence of queer people in the late 90s in gaming. That shit wasn't common.
Please.
Which is why all the fucking weirdo culture war tourists that showed up when the new Dragon Age game came out, really outed themselves on having never fucking played a BioWare game before. KOTOR, Neverwinter Nights, Dragon Age Origins, minus the Warp Speed ending were my favorite. Soft spot for Jade Empire 2. For me, it's probably, out of BioWare games, Mass Effect 2, Dragon Age Origins, Baldur's Gate 2. I like KOTOR a lot, of course, and Jade Empire, but KOTOR is vastly inferior to KOTOR 2. And KOTOR 2 was Obsidian. Mass Effect 2 mentioned. Fish gets it. Fish is a fellow Mass Effect 2 truther. So you can tell I obviously hate Mass Effect. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Petting my cat and stacking Scarlet Remittance. What do you guys think about Andromeda? Great gameplay. Dog shit RPG. They absolutely dropped the ball on character building and world building, aka the two things people actually cared about with Mass Effect. They had really good gameplay, but like, everything else about it was a disaster. The quality of the game at release, the character building, the world building. It tried to recycle Mass Effect 3's insanely successful multiplayer for a third time, yet the quality of it decreased each time.
I don't need any attention. That same ship is in the Wise Tower. Looks like those two are about to fight.
Filter 2 is an amazing game. I think Obsidian's story blows weapons out of the water. Just wish EA hadn't said we need to ship this 12 months earlier than planned. Restoration project's nice. Like to see Obsidian finish it. Yeah, like, I believe it was, LucasArts was the publisher. LucasArts was like, get this out for the holiday season. So they cut legitimately a third of the game. Like, 1/3 of the game. Gone. Modders have managed to restore most of that over the 21 years since that happened, but yeah. Really, really, really like Veilguard. It's a lot of needed work. Of course, they couldn't, since they had to rebuild the game 3 times, you know, laid off half the team. Veilguard has some stuff that I really did enjoy. I do think it is... Calling it a great game would be disingenuous. And there's a lot of stuff I have problems with, but I did enjoy my time playing it. I don't regret playing it. I don't feel like my time was wasted. And I did multiple playthroughs. I did 3 playthroughs of that game. It's unfortunate there's very little reason to go back to it after that point, especially in comparison to other Dragon Age games. I make no secret of the fact that I think Inquisition was a shit game until Trespasser came out. And my feelings towards Veilguard are warmer than my feelings towards Inquisition.
Good stranger.
Fight.
Somebody try.
How do I want to handle you? Gape for me? No gape? Fine. I didn't make Rhapsody my packed weapon. Boo.
Owns this city.
Yeah, good fight. Whatever happened to measure twice, cut once, because easier said than done in game design, making building. And game design is hard. And when you have to answer to game directors, shareholders, publishers, the devs that are doing the work that makes games good, they often don't get to do what they want to do. Really cannot stress enough the publisher impact, though. That's something that gets left behind in discourse about why games are sometimes the way they are when they come out. Publishers ruin games. There is an overwhelming likelihood that the worst thing about a game that you like is because of a publisher. Devs don't want to make bad games. And in my time making gaming content, obviously I've had some experience interacting with certain publishers. And certain opinions have been reinforced. I'd say that Veilguard's a good game. Great, but good. Give it 8 out of 10. Do see a fair amount of replayability. The skill tree design is really fucking cool. I really enjoyed that. A lot of replay value there. It doesn't have, like, much narrative replay value or companion storyline replay value. My concern for Veilguard is, do my decisions matter? They feel like they matter. Let's put it that way, Carrion. They feel like they matter. I don't think publishers want to make bad games, they just care about making money more than making a good game. Yes. I think that's a realistic way to put it, Tater. Taters tots? Taters tots. Let me know if I got that horrible. But in my experience with publishers, publishers do not do what they do for love of the art. Ever. Never, ever. As was stated, they don't necessarily want to make bad games either. But with devs, there's a much more personal connection with the product. You're more likely to see someone treat their creation as an art form rather than a product. And a lot of the decisions that led to Dragon Age the Veilguard having many of the issues it has were reminiscent of development by committee type decisions. Which is sad. Now, Dragon Age Inquisition is not immune from that criticism either, because that game was victim to the Ubisoftification of every single fucking game that came out in 2014. For some reason, the gaming industry was like, hey, let's copy that. Like, why did you all do this?
Be wary. This place is trapped.
Tasha's gender identity was great. The rest of Tasha's story, I hate to compare it, it's very Will-like. Where the fuck's the story? They fired Lucanus' writer partway through, and you could tell Lords of Fortune don't matter. Entire area's trash. Let's fuck through the Harding. She mattered. Instead, oh, she's popular. Let's put her in the game. Honestly, I've almost forgotten to do her quests. Except for right when we need to go to the next story quest. Like, I feel like with Tasha's storyline in particular, they were trying to... The overarching thing they were trying to do with them, I like. But it felt like it was written by a middle schooler. Like, there was no subtlety. There was no... There were no hooks connecting that storytelling to anything else happening. It, like... Hey, Slay. Where am I from? I'm from the US. East Coast. Unfortunately, from the US. But... Nobody's perfect.
Jerez's caress also has
Baby's first AO3. Speaking of Ubisoft, anyone try the new Assassin's Creed? I've not seen any gameplay or anything, Superman. Have you? Or have you seen any discourse from people who aren't, dude bros? Because, you know, people are determined to hate the game because the leads are a black guy and a woman. So, finding an unbiased opinion is, difficult. It's Ubisoft, so I hold no illusions that it's probably still trash, but... This is a joke. Yeah, it's sad that that has to be stated. Sheesh. Lords of Fortune was very much like, we need factions for multiplayer online, and that didn't happen. They left it in with scraps for story and location. Yeah, like, the whole thing with Rook could be from any of these different backgrounds, and none of them fucking matter. Like, you still don't really have any... Like, Rook isn't a character. Now, I understand, like, player avatar and stuff. I get it, sure. But you made Hawk a character and a player avatar. You even did a better job of that with the Inquisitor. What went wrong with Rook? But yeah, the factions thing was fucking weird. I've seen people say they enjoy the gameplay so far, but they still say it's too early to see if they like the overall game. Gotcha. Hawk was What If Shepherd, but Dragon Age, don't get me wrong. Dragon Age 2 was also my favorite, but yeah, of course. Like, you can see the direct influence of the success of Mass Effect. Especially Mass Effect 2 on the design choices in Dragon Age 2. But you agree with all Dragon Age sentiments? Yeah, we got a lot of Dragon Age fans here. I did a full series playthrough on Nightmare on stream a couple years ago. It's on the archive channel. I was considering going back and doing that again. Except with Veilguard included this time. Pulling me away from Baldur's Gate's kind of difficult these days, though.
Just do make sure you read the label before quaffing.
I'm scrapping the whole previous game choices matter, even as a bit trivial in previous games, kind of nailed the coffin of Veilguard for me. Yeah, Tumblr, it's them scrapping the whole Dragon Age Keep thing, and then having some weird defenses of, like, there's too many branches. Like, okay, sure, but you have made games before where you brought back previous decisions across a huge number of branches, and until the finale of that game, at least made it feel like it mattered. Yes, I'm talking about Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3 accounted for an insane number of branches. Sure, it cut some of them off. Sure, it dropped the ball on some of them. But overwhelmingly, it felt like a culmination of 3 games of decision-making. So why can't you do that again? Just copy your own notes. Like, the Venn diagram of Dragon Age fans and Mass Effect fans is a fucking circle. I don't need Melf's for staff anymore, which is good. Now that I have Bone Spike, I can go back to something like this. This. Armor of Shadows. 24 AC, 26 in combat. Not bad. Do wish I still had Ring of Twilight, though. Alright, it's only 99% a circle. Issue with the new Assassin's Creed game has to do with how they made it. Samurais and assassins, the actual opposite of what they embody. Why they not make the main character a ninja from Kyoto, where ninjas come from. I haven't played the game, it's my understanding thus far. Well, that's the thing, your wellness check. Assassin's Creed has never been historically accurate. It's been historical fan fiction and turning, whether it's real people in history or their own original characters, into figures relevant to the events happening in that time period and inserting them into either the Assassin faction or the Templar faction. You know, that's been their formula the entire time. Like, never forget, and people have collectively somehow memory hold this, Assassin's Creed 2 ends with you fist fighting the Pope while he uses a magic apple. We don't need to be historically accurate. So, there's that. That was a fun fight, though. It was very fun. Assassin's Creed 2 was a banger of a game. Never played Mass Effect? RBF. RBF. You gotta. And you gotta tell me about it. You gotta keep me posted. The comparisons of Baldur's Gate 3 and is part of why this failed. They fully changed to single player instead of online play because of it. We can't compare these. BG3 has its own thing. Keep doing this to compare game success, try to copy it. Well, I don't know if that's entirely it, Fish, because remember, Dragon Age started off entirely a single player experience. It wasn't multiplayer in any capacity until the third game. And the third game only had that multiplayer because they were copy and pasting Mass Effect 3's smash hit multiplayer. Mass Effect 3 had an incredible multiplayer mode that nobody saw coming. Like, it came out, and aside from the EA microtransactions part of it, people were like, wait, they fucking cooked. What is this? And then BioWare and EA were like, oh, people actually liked this? Alright, put it in all of the games now. So that's why it was in Inquisition, that's why it was in Andromeda, and in those two games, it wasn't as good. But they copied their own notes for that because it was successful and well received. I remember there was a lot of backlash when it was first announced. This was back when the game was still being called Dragon Age Dreadwolf. They announced the idea that this would be like an episodic game. And everyone hated that. So the pivot from that probably added a bunch of time into the development cycle. One of the things I do hate about Veilguard, as weird as it sounds, that the first game did not make something canon. The books, the comics, everything in Dragon Age has one canon, always has, even if not official. It's that agreed canon. I kind of get what you mean, Fish. Like, for example, they had a clearly defined, developer canon for the comics and the books. Like, things happened a certain way. Now, those things had potential tie-ins into the whatever canon you built as a player. But instead, the approach they took with the Veilguard was, and this will hook back into Baldur's Gate 3 discussion in a moment, but was they were just vague enough about everything that anything could have happened. It all happened, but they're not going to tell you fucking anything about how it happened. Which, of course, limits what they can do with characters. Lazy? Yes. Extremely. And it overall, it creates this negative feedback loop with engagement. You're like, oh, cool, I know what they're referring to. Let's see where this goes. And it doesn't go anywhere. And then you just sour on the whole thing. Rinse and repeat. But they were probably afraid of the alternative, which is, you can see in Baldur's Gate 3, there's some returning characters from BG1 and 2 who came back and who were given, like, they canonized a certain path through their story for the most part. And people did not receive some of those choices well. Particularly, people did not receive Viconia well. They canonized Viconia never alignment flipped. Or at least if she did, it didn't stick. Same with Sarevok. He either never flipped alignments, or it didn't stick. People didn't receive either of those characters well. At least returning fans didn't. Now, are there ways to have them come back and not cause that backlash? Sure. But they didn't do that. So I suppose an alternative to that is to be incredibly fucking lazy and just be vague and be like, yeah, that character exists in this universe, and it goes no deeper than that. And that's what a lot of the stuff in Veilguard was. Hey, Rabbit, how are you? You're just alive. He is refused to believe otherwise. Ooh, do we have Anders fans in the chat? It's okay. We can get past this maybe.
That's a friendly looking shadow.
I can't fix him. He fucked up. Still kiss that man and run off to the fade with him. He is one of the most unfixable people of all time. Now, don't get me wrong. The core of the cause, okay. The people, the specific individuals he had frustration with in the confines of Dragon Age 2, I agree with hating those people. But, like, bro is like, let's throw everyone else's lives away to prove my point. Like, I can't get on board with that. I can't get on board with it. I can flame strike here. Let's do one poke. Oh. That's more damage than I thought it would. Okay, good fight. I'm gonna leave Floric here. Maybe I'd take her with me to fight Gortash later. Bring me back to Tumblr 2011 today. There's a Reddit post about Edwin from BG2 pretending to be Lorokan. Have you heard about that at all? I have not. I think I saw somewhere someone mentioned that Edwin is mentioned, but I never really looked into it. You would think if Edwin was mentioned that, you know, it would be by Minsk, right? But a thing for possessed men. My partner is a Lucanus fan too. She's only played Veilguard of the games, but she's a Lucanus enjoyer. That was you. I mean, like before you. Sorry, I should have been specific. It's unrealistic to expect all the evil characters like Saravak and Konya to have gotten their good ending. I agree with you completely, Beyblade. I agree. In fact, I find it more fitting that those two in particular ended up, you know, not reformed. But that's the problem with branching canon and continuation after a mess of player choices. It does have to be handled well, or else someone gets mad. And like they did handle some things well, like Jaheira. Ton of branching stuff with Jaheira, though there's the primary rail that she stays on, but there's still some amount of wiggle room there. Yet they managed to have that character come out well. Yeah, I gotta go piss, girl. Be right back. How is Vorgoth poor taste in men? So, like, Vorgoth is an overwhelming wood from the fandom, as I understand. Which, I guess I get it. Anyone notice Pike and Grog from Critical Role in the Elfsong Tavern? No, I didn't. There's so many characters in the Elfsong Tavern that I've never bothered to talk to. Blame Act 3 fatigue. It's the voice, it's absolutely the voice. Reddit post is saying everyone was turned to a Vampire Lord. Suppose might be wrong. Ah, yeah, what are they basing that on? That's that's kind of out there. Yeah, that's how do you arrive at that conclusion? So we'll switch to co-op with Danny soon. I'll just go pick a few more fights. As for Dragon Age 2 ending hot take, City was already at a boiling point, and with how Meredith's corrupted, ready to push the mages into essential brain lobotomized slavery already, Chantry is just the last straw. Oh yeah, that's just good media literacy. That's exactly, like, the plot of the game. It was the final inciting incident in something that was always going to happen. However, the scales were intentionally tipped in a way to maximize the carnage, just so it couldn't be de-escalated. Forcing a conversation by spilling as much blood as possible is an approach that historically has worked for certain groups and people, but that doesn't change the reality that a lot of innocent people get killed by that. So that's why Anders is wrong. Like, the whole, you know, by any means necessary, you know, lesser evil for the greater good, doesn't change it being evil. Original Xbox One controller finally died a couple days ago. I've never been attached to a controller. They've never lasted that long for me. Essentially, Anders went after his slavers with no regard for collateral damage. The collateral damage part. He intentionally made sure there would be as much collateral damage as possible. That's why, even if you agree with his cause, he deserves nothing more than a knife in the back. Because you can still be a champion of the category of people he claims to represent without actively ensuring that they die. Won't last long, Quag, either. Hey, it's a race to the bottom. Not me, the proverbial bottom. Question, Gale's still stuck in the rock when I try eating elements, or what are the steps for that so Gale doesn't blow up on me? So you free Gale, and then without recruiting him, you feed him an item. So you can either free him and say, no, don't join me, or free him, kill him, then revive him. But the second conversation you have with Gale after freeing him, when he's just standing there not joining the party, as long as you progress far enough, he'll prompt you to feed him. You feed him an item, you leave him there without recruiting him. Then you can go toss Elminster. Then you can either leave Gale there forever or recruit him, and if you recruit him in this way, then he will leave your party permanently when you're going from Act 2 to 3, but you won't be on the death clock or anything, or you could just leave him there forever for the same result. But the easiest way is to free him and not recruit him, then toss Elminster. Constantly choosing the lesser of two evils is still choosing evil, yes. And to be perfectly clear, this isn't me providing an alternate answer. This isn't me having a better solution. Okay, ready whenever? Okay, let me do one more combat. You can call evil evil still. I haven't been using my summons at all. Dave's unfortunate. Okay. About Blight Scrolls, right? The fists are here. Oh, and they're leaving? Okay. Yeah, I attacked some of the entertainment and the people caught in the crossfire, the pores, so the fists, they don't care. So, I just want to do some Brutal Leap stuff. It goes off your spell save DC, which mine isn't particularly good right now. But it doesn't break invis either. You can have some fun with it.
Here comes the punchline.
I've not seen the Backstreet Boys thing of this. More for you. Reactions. Why'd you use M's claws instead of Sting? Read the abilities. You tell me. I'll look them up. Okay, claws. 1d4 plus dex mod slashing damage. Sting. 1d4 plus dex mod piercing damage and possibly additional poison. Slashing and piercing are different damage types. Sometimes something has slashing resistance, sometimes it doesn't. That's an easy one. They do different things. I could keep doing all the shadow stuff. Yeah, that's fun. Let's do that. Brutal Leap doesn't break invis. That is what I said. Like Anybody has bark skin. I always love that. Actually hit me. What'd you roll? No, you just have plus 11. Cool. Did min damage though. Your strength mode? Yeah, that is min damage. I think we got him. But don't steal my kill. Thank you. It's a spiteful way to go.
Another shapeshifter. I wonder if the real Dribbles has better jokes.
Given the counter, I'm curious, the extension isn't working. Is the extension not working for anyone else? It's my robe, but... Okay. So now,